The best true crime documentaries to stream. Add these true crime documentaries to your must-watch list. Some documentaries aren't exactly for the faint of heart. Though many true crime documentaries and docuseries tell a cautionary tale, they can also leave your mind racing and send a chill down your spine. But with so many streaming services to choose from and numerous options on each platform, it can be hard to narrow down what to watch. Featuring financial crimes, mysterious murders, cults, and notorious serial killers, here are some of the best true crime documentaries to stream now. Bad Influence: The Dark Side of Kidfluencing. Starting her social media career at 8 years old, internet celebrity Piper Rockell built a multi-million-dollar empire through viral challenges, staged pranks, and seemingly innocent crush content with her friends. But as Netflix's 3-part docuseries reveals, Rockell's squad was an artificially designed group of kid actors, many of whom went on to allege physical, emotional, and sexual abuse from Rockell's mom manager, Tiffany Smith. Bad Influence unpacks Rockell's case to expose the dark underbelly of child influencers and the adults who profit from their fame. Watch Bad Influence: The Dark Side of Kidfluencing on Netflix on April 9th. Spy High. When 15-year-old Blake Robbins and his classmates received school-issued laptops to use at home, the last thing he expected was for it to be used against him. The school captured a webcam photo of him in his room handling Mike and Ike candy and accused him of selling drugs. Spy High explores the infamous webcam gate over 4 episodes, with executive producer Mark Wahlberg calling it a reminder that our kids' digital lives are constantly under surveillance. Watch Spy High on Amazon Prime Video on April 8. Devil. In the Family: The Fall of Ruby. Franca Ruby Franca built a following of more than 2.5 million subscribers on her 8 Passengers YouTube channel, crafting a picture-perfect image of her Mormon family, until her strict parenting methods started raising red flags. In August 2023, Ruby and her podcasting partner, Jody Hildebrandt, were arrested and later charged with 4 counts of aggravated child abuse, facing prison sentences ranging from 4 to 60 years. Now in Hulu's 3-part docuseries, Ruby's husband, Kevin, and their 2 oldest children, Sherry and Chad, share their side of the story for the first time on camera. Watch Devil in the Family: The Fall of Ruby Franca on Hulu. American Murder. Gabby Petito. For couple vloggers, Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, their van life adventures painted a perfect picture on social media, but the reality behind the filter was far more disturbing. 3 years after Petito was found strangled to death by Laundrie, a new Netflix docuseries unpacks the case that gripped the nation, retracing the couple's final days and unveiling the chilling secrets they kept off camera. Watch American Murder. Gabby Petito on Netflix Scamanda. This ABC News docuseries dives into the case of Amanda Riley, the California woman who pretended to battle stage 3 blood cancer while duping her social media followers out of $100K in fake fundraising efforts. Scamanda exposes the lies with exclusive interviews, from family and friends to police, a neuropsychologist, and an IRS investigator, and tries to dissect the mind of a master manipulator. Watch Scamanda on Hulu. The Kings of Tupelo: A Southern Crime Saga. In 2013, poisoned letters were sent to President Barack Obama, a U.S. senator and a judge, and investigators immediately honed in on their prime suspect, Paul Kevin Curtis, an Elvis Presley impersonator from Tupelo, Miss. Now, more than a decade later, Curtis shares his side of the story in this 3-part Netflix docuseries, revealing how he became entangled in a bizarre conspiracy after discovering severed body, parts in a hospital refrigerator. Watch The Kings of Tupelo: A Southern Crime Saga on Netflix. Cold Case: Who Killed JonBenet Ramsey? On the morning after Christmas in 1996, 6-year-old pageant star JonBenet Ramsey was found beaten, sexually assaulted, and strangled to death in the basement of her family's home in Boulder, Colo. Cold Case. Who Killed JonBenet Ramsey revisits the incompetent investigation by the Boulder Police Department and how media sensationalism influenced the public's perception of the case, while examining several suspects, such as JonBenet's parents Patsy and John Ramsey. Watch Cold Case. Who Killed JonBenet Ramsey on Netflix. Making Manson. If you think you know the story of Charles Manson, one of America's most notorious cult leaders who spent time behind bars before orchestrating a mass-killing spree in 1969, get ready for a direct line to the man himself. Peacock's 3-part docuseries unveils 20 years' worth of unheard conversations with Manson, where he candidly reflects on his crimes, as well as his brutal upbringing, checkered youth, and unfiltered thoughts on the Manson family. Watchmaking. Manson on Peacock. Chris Brown, A History of Violence. Chris Brown made headlines in 2009 after physically assaulting then-girlfriend Rihanna, resulting in felony charges and a plea deal that included community service, 5 years probation, and counseling. However, this incident was only the beginning. As part of ID Network's No Excuse for Abuse campaign, this documentary delves into the numerous allegations against Brown, examining his troubling pattern of abuse spanning more than a decade and how he managed to maintain success during it. Watch Chris Brown, A History of Violence on Max. The Menendez Brothers. In light of the controversy surrounding Ryan Murphy's Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, the Menendez brothers are getting to share their side of things for the first time in 30 years. This Netflix documentary dives into their 1989 crime, killing their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, after alleging years of sexual abuse, and the high-profile trial that followed, featuring exclusive audio interviews with Lyle and Eric. From California's Donovan Correctional Facility, watch The Menendez Brothers on Netflix. Fanatical, The Catfishing of Tegan and Sara. Indie rock duo. Tegan and Sara built a global community of inclusivity and passion around their music. But one bad apple turned that safe space into a nightmare. In 2011, Tegan Quinn's personal files were stolen and used in an elaborate catfishing scheme that left fans stalked and terrorized for more than a decade. Now, in this Hulu whodunit documentary, Tegan sets out to track down the culprit, unraveling the unsettling testimonies of her duped fans along the way. Watch Fanatical, The Catfishing of Tegan and Sara on Hulu. American Murder, Laci Peterson. American Murder. Laci Peterson goes deep into the heartbreaking case of Laci Peterson, who went missing just before Christmas 2002 while 8 months pregnant. Her body was discovered months later, just 1 day after the remains of her unborn child, Connor, were found. Despite his claims of innocence, her husband, Scott Peterson, was convicted of her murder in 2004. This 3-part docuseries paints a fuller picture of Laci's life and untimely death, featuring rare interviews with her mother, Sharon Rocha, and Scott's former mistress, Amber Frey. Watch American Murder, Laci Peterson on Netflix. Face to Face with Scott Peterson. After you've wrapped up American Murder, Laci Peterson on Netflix, switch over to Peacock for Scott Peterson's first on-camera interview since 2003. This 3-part docuseries gives a new perspective on Peterson's case, provides a glimpse into his version of events and features an exclusive video chat with the former Modesto Caliph, fertilizer salesperson, now serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole. Watch Face to Face with Scott Peterson on Peacock. Dirty Pop, The Boy Band Scam. Boy bands were all the rage in the 90s, and Lou Pearlman was the puppet master behind some of the biggest acts: NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, and O-Town. Though he engineered their meteoric ascent to stardom, he was willing to break them apart by skimping on their pay. This 3-episode docuseries delves into the rise and fall of Perlman, who pleaded guilty to conspiracy, money laundering, and other crimes before he died in 2016, while featuring interviews with figures such as Chris Kirkpatrick, AJ McLean, and more. Watch Dirty Pop, the boy band scam, on Netflix. Mafia Spies. Based on the eponymous 2019 exposé, this 6-episode docuseries uncovers the covert plot between the CIA and the Chicago Mafia to eliminate Fidel Castro during the Cold War. What follows is an epic cat-and-mouse chase stretching from America to Cuba, delving into the clandestine ties among the CIA, the mob, and Frank Sinatra's Rat Pack. Watch Mafia Spies on Paramount.